This is the book of Psalm, chapter 104, starting at verse 1. It reads, "Bless the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, O my soul. O Lord, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim, you brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom unto the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. All right, now. And this lesson is going into the chariots. All right, those vessels that we're going to be blessed with in riding upon, Lord willing, or riding in the kingdom of heaven. And, we don't necessarily know how they're going to look. All right, but this is a good, what if, so to speak, what if scenario on what it can look like according to what we could imagine now. You know what I mean? Because, again, our mind can only go so far. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. And we know in part, we prophesy in part. We don't necessarily know the details and the magnitude of how the inside of a chariot is going to look. But this is a good depiction right here for what we have. And this was shared by a beloved elder, which prompted this lesson, man, through the Spirit, inspired me to just put something on wax. Man, it's beautiful, bro. Like the detail, you know what I'm saying? The marbling, the light fixtures, the pool inside right by the big glass windows overseeing the atmosphere, the space and whatnot. But this may be far out to an individual in the world, but we know, through the scriptures, man, time and time again in the scriptures is written about the chariots of the Lord. Essentially, the vessels that our brothers, the angels, ride in. Just how we have cars and think about like a souped up sports car and how, the technology that they may have in there now, being it's 2025 and like the different gadgets. You think in the kingdom, bro, like the amount of power we're going to have and how they move at speed of light, so to speak. You had those different whistleblowers saying those that be with the up in space, up in the air, they're saying how they could go underwater, fast as hell. You can barely detect them. In and out of water, up in the heavens, right? The apostles just bringing out, got a chariot, I think, so many times bigger than the sun, or like half the sun. But man, you think of what's out there, bro. The Lord is a great power, man. But so yeah, just to go back into the Psalm 104:3, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Those clouds representing, again, the supernatural, heavenly, quote unquote, spacecrafts. How they say today, UAP or UFOs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, or unidentified flying object, when really they're identified via the scriptures. All right, let's go to was that Psalm? Was that 67? Maybe not. Bear with me. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. It said thousands. All right, so this is Psalm 68 and 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. You see? So it says in the NLT, surrounded by unnumbered thousands of chariots, the Lord came from Mount Sinai into his sanctuary. And that's how he sends, or he's going to send his angels, you see, to, some of them is going to be unleashing havoc, fire upon the earth. The main target being America, Babylon the Great, which is also going to be melted via the missiles shot by these other nations, right, in World War III that's brewing up. And Lord willing, we're going to be delivered by that fathership that Yahweh Shai is coming in, man. How it says in Ezra, it was likened unto a mountain. I don't got to grab it, but every eye is going to see the Lord, man, as the scriptures say. He's going to ride upon that big cloud. And actually, let me grab Isaiah 19. Brother's been bringing this out heavy because of the times that we're in, with martial law brewing up and the National Guard and these different troops getting sent to these different states. And it's only a matter of time before martial law kicks in across the states, where there's checkpoints and things of that nature, and civil war, all these different things, man, that's prophesied within the scriptures. But this is Isaiah 19:1. It says the burden of Egypt, and that Egypt, speaking of America, all right, Egypt going into a house of bondage. And it's spiritual Sodom and Egypt, in the book of Revelation. But America is that, basically the modern day Egypt. All right, it says, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. He cometh quickly. And that cloud, again, being a so-called UFO. That says, and shall come into Egypt. Why? To give everyone a reward, whether it be good or evil, whether it be deliverance or destruction. It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be moved. They're going to be moved out the way. The different idols of Egypt. The living idols. those people that other people put on a pedestal, who are deemed idols in this time. You know what I'm saying? They put, Jake puts these individuals at a higher regard than the Lord. They're going to be moved at his presence. They're going to be shaken in their boots. He's going to show that they're but men. Really speaking of the other nations, right? But these prideful Jakes as well, who have their constellation on this side already. He's going to show that he is the true living power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, and everything in it. All right, but let's go. I said he's going to, so to change gears real quick, let's go to, because when I saw this, again, a glimpse into what's coming. And but we don't necessarily know how beautiful it's truly going to be, I'll grab this first. Son of, I think it's Malachi. I was just in it. Yeah, Malachi 4:2. All right, it says, Malachi 4:2, but unto you that fear my name, who? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Because that's what's gonna, that's a part of the reward, man, the healing in his wings, when we'll be changed. And we're gonna receive them new bodies, basking with our Lord Yahweh Shai. But think of kicking it on a chariot with a new body on on this altitude, so to speak, man, with gold trimming and, you know, your own with no worries, right? No achings, no, you know, heartaches, headaches, you name it. Just pure righteousness, pure peace. You know, big chilling on a on a spaceship, man. And it says, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. You know, we're going to be freed. Truly free. Well, we're free right now, but we're still in these chains of darkness, you know. But let me grab the one I wanted, Isaiah. You know, just some exhortation, man. What's the one I'm looking for? I have not seen. This is Isaiah 64:4. It says, for since the beginning of the world, men have not heard, nor perceived by the ear, nor hath the eye seen, O power beside thee, what he hath prepared for him that waiteth for him. And that's all we got to do, bro. Hold on tight, have faith, and continue to push the work. This word, you know, endure. Because of what's to come is not going to be comparable to the little suffering that we're going through right now. Truly, only the Lord knows, hey, when Yahweh Shai is coming back, but as well as what's out there, what's being prepared for his elect, being prepared for his nation, or starting with the elect. And it's just like again, it's just a idea of what we can expect. But that alone is like, damn, man, you know? Like right now, you can only dream of being here. But to think, man, that's what he has stored up. And then some, you know, different planets, not to mention the different planets, but, you know, that goes to show you how much love he has for his sons and daughters, man, of even those that have trespassed against him. He's a merciful power who loves dearly, you know. So in turn, what? We should love him. He gave us the mercy. He gave us grace. Especially those who are called in this thing. So we got to continue on and push on. And I'll end with this. You know, because this is what we're hoping to be and a part of that reward. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, that'll be us. This is Reward Prophets. This is Sirach 36. And I start at 15. It says, I start at 14. Really, you can start you can start at the top. But I start at 15. It's to the point. Sirach 36 and 15. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning. All right, the elect, the first fruits. Those that the Lord handpicked. Those that the Lord created for himself. It says, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. And he's doing that now, or he's been doing that since what? The late 60s. All right, with our apostles, elders, you know. But even unto this point, man, you got new brothers still coming into the faith. Or just came in. But that's what the Lord is doing. He's raising up prophets. And that is a telltale sign that we're at the end. Giving the nations their judgment. And giving our people hope. Ultimately, the hopeful elect. But Sirach 36 and 16, it says, reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. You know. Because the next stop, kingdom of heaven. Lord willing, that'll be us. So with that, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting unto you. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rechakodash. Double honors again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wa, Kwam Yasharala, Wa, Abba, Babal. Soon.